I think the trend still is information. People are still scared about the transition from dedicated platforms to cloud platforms, even though people think this is a done deal. It so isn't. I think that's still an issue, number one. Number two, I think another issue still is about, in the past you'd have companies coming in giving you good quality consultative information which was relevant to your business. And there seems to be a bit of a gap there. There are some companies coming along who are offering something like that, but is it as focused as it needs to be? So I think that's an issue as well. And I think the third one is, particularly for the bigger companies, is there's still lots of bent metal tin sitting in their facilities, which has still got to be written off, amortized over a period of time. So even though there's a good utopia story about going to the cloud, being green, etc., real life comes into play, saying I've got to still use the stuff I've got until it falls over. I think they're the three issues.
I think there's going to be lots of different types of conversations at the show this year. I'm particularly looking forward to talking to customers about how they optimise their services, particularly in the front end, because there's a lot of developments in these areas. I think people are going to want to maximise the engagement that people have on their sites. They're going to want to improve their user journeys. Content discoverability will continue to be a problem and an opportunity. Personalisation is always and will still be engaging and required. And I suspect we'll have many more conversations about monetisation and hybrid business models and advertising and new forms of advertising and sponsorships. I do also hope we have some XR VR conversations around some of our propositions. But I think optimising and improving your service for your audiences is going to be really important.
I think one of the hottest topics will probably be AI. Everyone will talk about it as a buzzword, but I'm not sure anyone will really present too much in terms of strong value. So we'll see what comes out of that. I think XR is really stirring the pot right now. I'd like to see a lot more than just Apple Vision Pro, but other players get involved, like the MetaQuest and the Vive and HTC and so on, seeing what they've got on offer, not just for broadcast and the sort of TV apps, but also, what are they doing for other engagement areas that go alongside broadcast, like chatting to your friends while you're multi-viewing or things like that.
Well, I've been talking for a while now that we're in what I call the new streaming reality. So in this phase of the market, it's all about profit. It's about now actually making sure that streaming services make sense as a business. So in terms of enabling that, vendors need to either help one of two ways. They need to help shave costs, make services more efficient, or they need to enable more monetization options and enable those streaming services to actually make more money. So engage with their viewers more, make their services more usable, viewable, and generally become more profitable.
Some of the trends that we've been seeing in the industry recently and what we expect to see as we come up to IBC is a lot of companies shifting to managed service approaches. I think there's a lot of benefit there, especially for buyers who might not have the internal resources, and also as their margins are tightening to an extent, there's a big opportunity there for there to be cost savings and resource saving overall. Another trend that we're seeing a lot of is still kind of that convergence and shift towards the cloud, but with a lot more flexibility in terms of having that hybrid environment with certain things in cloud while certain things maintained in that on-premises environment based on what makes the most sense specifically for those product lines. And then I think just kind of smaller organizations creating their own streaming services to be able to deliver that content directly to their clients. A lot of sports organizations, clubs specifically, delivering content directly to their fans because the consumer is king. So driving that sort of narrative of wanting to be able to consume their favorite sports or whatever it is on the go at any time has really pushed a lot of companies to invest in technology they may not previously have been.